Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Quinesha and I'm your host, coach, and teacher. Notice I didn't say fellow baddie. I am still your fellow baddie, but right now we are going through a rebrand. So be on the lookout for the rebrand. You may have noticed if you look at my pages closely, you can see subtle things already happening. I have some exciting announcements coming up. Let's jump into today's podcast. Today we're talking about working remotely. It is 2025. You probably work remotely. You probably know someone that works remotely. You probably used to work remotely. You probably are transitioning to a job that's remote. Everyone has touched remote work at one point. Maybe even during the panini, you were working remotely. It's fun. Working remotely definitely has its upsides, but there are downs. In this video, I'm going to go over some of those goods and bads, but mostly through the lens of productivity. How can you make this the best experience for you, even if it's temporary, for you to just really propel yourself for the next stage in your life? Working remotely is definitely not the stay in your pajamas all day and stay in your bed all day. Some people do stay in their pajamas all day still because you just need to see the top half. Like, you really don't know what I have on down here. It's not that lazy work environment that many people think it is. Does it offer more flexibility than working in an office? For sure, 100%. But it also comes with its own unique challenges. So let's hop into 10 ways you can thrive physically, emotionally, mentally, and professionally while you work remotely. The first tip I have for you is to have a dedicated workspace. You need a workspace that when you enter that space, your brain automatically switches to, it is time for me to lock in, it's time for me to focus, it's time for me to work. Having this mental shift to work will prevent you from feeling like you live at work or feeling like your entire home is work. We work from home, we work remotely. That's just a portion of our lives. If you can't dedicate an entire office space to work, find a desk, set it up somewhere in your house or your apartment where you can set up and just know that when I lock in and I work, like this is the space. So where I am right now, this is my home office. This is where I do all of my work for Hey Quinesha and also for my 9-to-5 job as well. Everybody, of course, does not have space to have an entire office. You can set up a desk somewhere. You can work in your dining room, wherever that may be. Not only is this good for your mental health, but it's also good for your physical health. I have an office chair. I have a standing desk as well. I need to make sure that this workspace is also good for my physical health. If I'm going to sit here for more than 8 hours a day, right? You want to make sure that it is actually comfortable for you as well so that you don't ruin your body in the process. You do not want to look like one of those lizard people as a result of having this remote job. So make sure you have a good screen to look at, a good desk, a good chair. Those 3 things are going to go a long way for your mental, physical, and emotional health as well. It's also good for professional space, like knowing that you are in an office. I'll speak for having an office. Knowing that I have an office and I can close the door, that means that when I have people over, I can still get work done in an undistracted space. I know that I can still get work done and not have as many distractions. And I also know that I can just lock myself in here and focus as needed. The second tip I have for you is to diversify your workspace. Now, I know you're saying, Quinesha, you just told me set up one workplace. Yes, I know. This is for my girls that get a little bored. I get bored sitting here. I can't just be in here all the time, right? So in my office, I also have a couch. If I want to sit on that couch and work, I also like to sit on the floor sometimes, but you can take it up a notch. I like to go to coffee shops sometimes and work because sometimes I miss being around people, the background chatter, or just seeing people in general. Another thing that I've done to diversify my workspace is create a lounge in my house. I had not been using my dining room for dining purposes. I probably only use it 4 times, less than that. And I said, you know what? I want to rearrange the furniture in my house because no one says just because this is labeled as a dining room, it has to be a dining room. I rearranged some things and I created a lounge, and I wanted to recreate like coffee shop vibes there, just somewhere where I can just chill. I tried to record a video in there, but it is hard for me to like get into business mode. If I'm doing a serious video, I need to be at my desk. I need to be set up here, but I can sit there and work on independent stuff for my 9-to-5 job. I can sit down on the chair, work on my PowerPoint deck, do research, write up articles, things like that. And when it comes to me being in a meeting and I am leading that meeting, I need to be at my desk. So if you are one of my girls that get bored from sitting in the house all day working, Think about how you can use your existing space to diversify your work areas, and then places you can go near your house. You don't always have to go to a coffee shop. You can also go to a public library. You can go to the park. The third tip I have for you is to do the fun stuff at work, even if it isn't fun. I have a love-hate relationship with the forced fun events at work. I don't like them because they are forced fun. We're being told to, hey, come to the space for 30 minutes and laugh with us and have fun with us. Once my inner child rebel gets over that, then I can participate in it. When you participate in these fun activities at work, take the time to do that. This is where you're going to get a chance to see your coworkers outside of working spaces, especially if the only time you meet are for meetings. So it'll give you the chance to learn something new about them, see them in a different light, find out even what they're interested in if different people lead that meeting each time. Another thing that you can do is participate in your random Slack channel. Read the things in there, react to it. You want to learn more about the people that you work with. When you work remotely, you don't have a physical community around you, so you have to rely on the virtual space to build that community. And as humans, we all want community. If you are in one-on-one meetings or group meetings, like, build in some fun time. You don't even have to formally build in the fun time. Just ask, how was your weekend? What'd you do this weekend? Share something about what you did. Find ways to chit chat with people how you normally would if you were in the workplace. The fourth tip that I have for you is to take breaks. You're not a robot. You are not meant to sit still all day long. You are not meant to stare at a screen all day long. Take a break. I feel like there's a different pressure on you when you work from home. I don't ever want to give someone a reason to believe that I'm not working. So you do feel the pressure to be by your computer, even if literally I need to just get up and take a break, or I don't have anything to do, like I'm waiting on something. I still will be like, oh, let me find something to do. Like, chill. Take you a little breaky break. It's okay. And the thing that gets me is that when I worked in an office, I would take breaks. I would go outside and take laps around my office building, and people would be like, hey, Quinesha, I saw you walking. You did see me walking today. I got my steps in. I wasn't just going to sit there. So how can you take a break? Go take a little walk around your apartment complex, around your block. If you have a little treadmill, walk on the treadmill. Get some blood flowing in your body, okay? That's going to boost your creativity. That'll help you do your job better. Eat your meals away from your desk. If you just take 15 minutes, sit down, eat away from your desk. Or if you do eat at your desk, don't do work while you eat. You don't need to have a working lunch. It's okay. Look away from your screen. Whenever I'm working on something for too long, I make sure I look away from the computer for 20 seconds at least to give my eyes a break. When your eyes are locked in and focused, you're straining them, and we need our eyes. And the thing is, these are things that you would do if you worked in an office as well. You probably take way more breaks because there are people around you to talk to. So take a break, enjoy the day, and get back to work. Tip number 5 is to have some type of routine or skeleton of a routine that you can lean on. This is especially important for before work and after work. You need a clear signal that the workday is beginning. You need a clear signal that the workday is ending. Because no longer is the start of your workday symbolized by you leaving the house, getting in your car, and then the end of your workday is you get in the car coming back home. Now, what does the workday look like? We can't even say it's when we close our computer because, let's be real, how many of us are still on our work computers after work or on the weekends? I used to be good about it. I used to have separate computers, but I was like, I'm just going to use one computer. That's that on that. Additionally, being in your home makes it easier to slip into comfortability, right? It becomes easy to stay in your bed and just open up your laptop. It becomes easy for you to have your phone and you can still do work and you can still hop on that meeting, right? Your two worlds begin to blend. And I don't believe that there is a world where work-life balance exists. I believe that work-life prioritization exists because you'll never be able to say everything's working out perfectly. There will always be moments when you need to prioritize work, and there are moments when you need to prioritize your personal life. Having some type of routine is going to help you with that prioritization. The biggest tip I have for you is to have set work hours. The same way you would come to the office at a certain time and leave the office at a certain time, you stop working at that certain time. Even if you are on that computer, close the Slack, close your work stuff, and move on to whatever else you're doing. Tip number 6 is to set boundaries with people in your house. Whether you live with a significant other, your family, your children. Work is work. What does that mean? Work is work. and you don't have time to play. But really, sometimes if you live with family, for instance, I'll use my mom as an example. When my mom comes to visit, she doesn't fully understand the nature of remote work. She feels like if I'm not in a meeting, I'm not working. She doesn't understand that there's work that happens between meetings. I even told her I'm writing an essay at one point so she could understand how significant the piece of writing is that I'm working on. I can't say article. It's damn near an essay. I'm working on an essay right now. So have that conversation with the people in your home about like, hey, when I'm working, I can't do this. Or just because I'm quiet or not in a meeting doesn't mean I'm not working. Whenever we have the conversation about boundaries, tell the people what you need. They love you, they support you, they're going to understand. That's the bottom line. If you have a significant other, family member, or roommate that works from home as well, figure out coordinating schedules. Like, you in this room at this time, you in this room at just kind of figure it out. I work with Pierre during the day. I don't have to have too many boundary conversations with him. We just know that when I'm in a meeting, he's sleeping. He lets me know when someone's at the door. But Pierre's a really good coworker. So if you have a furry coworker, put a doggy emoji or cat emoji or whatever kind of pet you have. Tip number 7, allocate your commute money and time. When you made the decision to work remotely, you no longer have to drive into the office. You are saving time and money. You are not buying a coffee because you're depressed about going to work. You're not going to lunches with your coworkers. You now have time and you have money. Reallocate that to something else in your life. Make the time to invest in those hobbies that you always wanted to do. That this is a big reason that I am so into dance now. I always wanted to take dance, but I didn't have the time. After being at work all day, I was not going somewhere else. I didn't have it in me. I just couldn't have it in me. Get a hobby and invest in that hobby. Your job provides the financial resources you need to thrive. Live the life you want to live if you have the means to do. So if you have the time and the money, invest in your hobby. Guess what? That hobby also is going to get you out of the house and get you a community because you don't have that built-in work community anymore. Another way that you're going to be saving money when you work remotely is not buying unnecessary clothes. When the seasons changed, I was getting a new wardrobe. Being in an office, working, I always wanted to buy new clothes for the new season. So with your new remote job, reinvest your time and your money elsewhere. Tip number 8, use your PTO on your sick days. Just because you work from home does not mean you need to work through your sickness. Yes, you're at home. Yes, you have your computer. Yes, you can work, but you don't have to be at home working miserable. If you have the days, take off the day, okay? Like, just go rest, baby girl. When I first started my remote job, I was like, oh, I'm going to save all my days. I didn't need to save my days. So I got COVID and I worked the first 2 days of having COVID, mostly because I didn't know I had COVID. I thought I just had a cold. Up until that point, who didn't work through a cold? Things got worse. And I was telling my manager during those first 2 days, I was like, yeah, I feel sick. She was like, take off. And I was like, no, I don't need to. I'm just reading. I was still onboarding at that time. And I was like, I'm just reading documents. I'm fine. I should have just taken off. There is no reason not to. The days are going to expire, right? If they don't roll over, you're just stuck working all the time. Use the benefits that come with your job. So whatever benefits your job offers, use them. PTO and sick days are benefits. Use them. At my prior job, I never used any of my sick days. And it worked out because when I left, I was able to cash out on some of those days. But then there were some days that I wasn't able to cash out. They weren't cash outable. I worked in that school district for 7 or 8 years and I earned all those days and I didn't take them. So take your days. Even though you work from home, you still deserve a vacation. And even for vacation, I saw like random TikToks where people would not take their PTO and go on vacation and still take meetings. If you're just going to work from somewhere else, I get it. But if I'm going on vacation, take off. Number 9, now we're transitioning into the professional thriving tips. Document your work. Working in person doesn't require you to do as much documentation because you're seen working. Your manager knows what you're working on. You have to eventually present it. Things come together eventually when working in person. Because of that physical proximity, you don't always have to talk about the steps you're taking or the progress you're making because things are seen in person. Also, you're probably in frequent conversation with your manager or colleagues. Working remotely does not offer you those little pleasures. So you do have to document your work. Now, documenting your work can look different for a lot of people. I am not that detailed where I can tell you from 9:05 a.m. to 11:07 a.m. I was working on this, then I took a 5-minute break. No. When I say document your work, I mean just make a daily to-do list. Sometimes I make a to-do list that'll span over 2 or 3 days and I just work from that. When I'm having meetings with people, I document the things that we talked about in that meeting, any action items that may have come from that meeting. Most importantly, I'm keeping track of the contributions to my annual goals. You have to make sure you write down the things because you need to be able to speak to your work ethic and what you've accomplished working remotely. Write down all the things. You need to be able to advocate for yourself at some point about these things as well. So make sure that it is written down. Oh, this week I did work on this, and this. I'm having trouble with this. The next step is this. In this meeting, I learned this. You see where we're going? You see the trend, baby girl? Okay, I'm ready to get to the last tip. You're a real one if you're sticking with me through tip 10. Tip number 10 is to take advantage of professional development opportunities. Sign up for webinars, take short online courses, read those articles. A lot of remote jobs are flexible enough where you can take an hour a week and sharpen your skills. You want to continuously learn, especially again because you are isolated. I don't mean it in a bad way, but you're not around to see other people and be like, oh, teach me how to do this, or just overhear conversations when people are saying, oh, I did this and this, and you're like, oh, tell me more about this. You have to find those opportunities, and I'm sure that your company offers some type of benefit. Mine does. It offers a stipend for professional development. I need to take my own advice and find some professional development. When you engage in professional development, this gives you the chance to think about expanding your skills. It allows you the chance to think forward in your career. Because I'll be honest, it's hard for me to imagine what comes next for me professionally working remotely. When I'm working in person, I can see like different career avenues, but I think that maybe there's so many options that I just don't know what could be next. Like I'm fully satisfied with this. Maybe this is where I'm at and we build up Hey Quinesha and see what happens, you know? So there you have it. 10 real actionable steps to help you thrive in your remote workplace. Remote work is truly a gift and you need to make it work for you, not against you. Take these tips, take what you need, leave what you don't. Take care of your mind, your body, your soul, your career, your peace, your community. Set boundaries, have some fun, take advantage of the perks, and live a beautiful life. I will see you next week in another video where we're going to talk about how I actually make time for all these hobbies that I have. Make sure you tune in. If you are not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Until then, I hope you have a positively productive, self-loving day. Bye. Mwah.